Well. Welcome to another episode of How the Fuck the Marketplace Works. Okay. Let me get gotta get the wood lit. Feel me? All right. So, what did we talk about yesterday? I wanted to show you. All right. So, even like right now, if I come onto a clean chart, all right. Now, yesterday, I told you guys about this draw of liquidity, okay? What I was aimed at was this right here. Yeah. Okay. And so the reason why we talked yesterday, we talked about top down analysis, coming in and understanding how every asset has a bigger objective, smaller objective. And what I'm trying to teach you about is understanding which objective is first and ways to figure that out. And so I'm not going to get as detailed as I get in my mentorship, but I'll give you a good amount of clues that where even if you're on the free YouTube mentorship, you'll have a lot that you can start doing for confluence in terms of uh smaller objectives, bigger objectives, things like that. When I say objective, that's not like a random thing I'm looking for. That means liquidity paired to time somewhere. Weekend lows, don't have any weekend highs. We have a Friday high here. Okay. And then also, what do we have here just in terms of structure? Turtle soup. You feel me? And what's crazy is, oh, there we go. Now I'm finally smoking a dark stout this morning. I love dark stouts. So when you see this turtle soup up here, right, we're going to mark that turtle soup. So number one, right, we talked about this being our draw of liquidity, and I wanted to show you what the hour chart and going down did. We already saw how the higher time frame we have a situation here, right? Where now, mind you, I talked about the daily chart and the weekly chart is where the smart money players are, right? So if you're looking for institutional sponsorship or anybody with a deep account that's looking to push this motherfucker, right? Using EAs or that buy algorithms from the central bank, you're going to have these people looking to complete an objective. So whether it's offloading a lot of these bigger orders down into this fair value gap here, or them picking up new orders and driving this to the upside, right? But when we're looking at objective, right? If you wanted to say that, okay, well, how do I know what's the next big objective? Now, for the daily chart, the first thing is when we come out of this fair value gap the first time, right? Notice how this is a Thursday. Look at the week so far. You got Monday high. Thursday is a typical day to look for a reversal, right? So Thursday reversal. All right. Huge imbalance. And we have liquidity here. Now, we couldn't quite get there just yet, but we're going to get there. Now, watch this though. We talked about how you can operate gold on a lower PO3 number when you're intraday trading. Okay, and we're going to get there. But what I want to show you is again, the more we update ourselves, come in with the higher PO3 and then go low. Make sure that what you're looking at still updates. You see what I'm saying? However you're choosing to view it, right? Right now, I'm upshifted because I want to see like the perspective if this looks like buy side liquidity I just need to focus on, or is it there we go, or are we going to be respectful of this high, and should I look for more sells? You know what I mean? And so I'm talking about how it looks like we have higher objectives on the bigger time frame. But when we talk about smaller objectives, doesn't have to be just liquidity. Like I said, it could be an open imbalance, or it could be a volume imbalance, or it could be a new week opening gap or new day opening gap, or it could be all of these ideas that make us think, hey, you know what? Even if it's session specific like Asia, right? You should know by now. Every time I get quiet, that's just be hitting the blood. Anytime I get quiet. All right. Now I'm checking this 81 and I'm showing you exactly our target here. Okay. And if you look at how it looks, right? I mean, let's pull it up to a 30 so it's cleaner. All right. Now, there we go. This is your Friday. This is your Monday. I told you about how turtle soup works. Time and price plays the biggest role. You're inside of London kill zone right here, no problem. Now, I've said this on this channel, I think maybe once, now I'll give it to you again. I don't trade Mondays at fucking all, pretty much. But I will trade a Monday every now and then if I get a situation like this. The Monday basically turtles the Friday. So Monday over or under the Friday. And you get a nice turtle soup coming from either I like it in London, just like this, but if you want to wait for the optimal trade entry here, that's not a bad thing. That makes sense. OTE. All right. So, long story short, I told you yesterday when we were watching my first demo trade towards this imbalance and some of these liquidity targets out here, right? We got super, super close by the end of the day, but no dice, right? But what do you think price is going to do, bro? You understand liquidity, I think. And if you don't, we have a week long series of videos on liquidity and order blocks coming up. We're doing all the fun stuff now in the market reviews to make sure that you understand uh, not just market structure, but market tendencies. So when you are seeing these small nuances that I show you about like how price moves when it's speedy, or how do I know when it's going to be lethargic, or how do I know it's just going to consolidate for a period of time and know exactly around when it's going to stop. These are some of the things you need to get into. And so, mind you, whole time, created lows here. We talked about this being Asia, obviously, bro. Asia does what? Hardly ever survives. Damn, I'm about to roll another blunt. But I got like three types of gas right now. And whatever I'm smoking right now is different from what I was smoking last night. And I feel like fucking Harry Potter right now. Cause blunt looking like a fucking wand. Jesus. And it's funny, people ask me in the DM like why I talk about like just the shit that I fucking like in my videos outside of trading. It's because I'm actively I'm always watching TV, bro. Like I'm on YouTube right now and I'm just watching a in depth of like how they filmed Harry Potter. And I don't really plan these videos very often, which is funny. Like I just want to talk to you about what I talk to you about, and my personality leaks out by itself. I can't really help that one, but when we're talking about certain things in the marketplace, right? I like turtle soup on a Monday over the Friday, but it needs to be at a good time. So when you're inside this kill zone here and you're watching it, like, yo, this is not bullish right now. And again, like I said, we're experimenting with the levels. So when we're talking about this, I gave you guys this EXT, all right? Then we came down, fucked this gap up, because this is now a balanced price range. There's no rebalancing of this fair value gap. So do you see how this right here is like a balanced price range? This is not going to run down to rebalance this bitch right here. That's not the intention. So even ICT traders get fucked up because they think that this is the one to go long, right? Every ICT trader and their mom, as soon as they learn the fair value gap, think they're ultimate. I guarantee you. I had that same fucking feeling when I learned it. You feel ultimate. You feel like you're in a secret club now. Oh yeah, I'm taking these imbalances, bro. I never lose. Okay. Okay. We'll just okay. Me mentioning this balanced price range for a reason. That means I know this is going to fail. Regardless of PD array, regardless of goldback level, this is going to fail. Liquidity is what you need to focus on because the buy side being taken is eliminating one side of the marketplace for us, like I mentioned before. Eliminate one side of the marketplace. And you do this via time and price. So when you pop down this way, right? And again, I'm just showing you the levels, going through the bigger one to the smaller one to show you exactly what the perspective was. And so look at this here. What's a rejection block? Got all this, right? Dumping, isn't it? I know. I get it. And look where you came from. Right from that high, right from that rejection block. You have PO3 liquidity, 81 power of 3 specific. All right. Now watch. Mind you, I've said it. It's not like it's macro as fuck sell side. No. But what I'm saying is maybe it's a week. It could be a day. You need to understand that these have smaller objectives first, just like this. That even if I'm showing you a higher time frame or a higher perspective, you need to come down here and still be able to narrate correctly. And again, I could do it with the levels, without the levels, it doesn't matter. The biggest thing is understanding market structure so that even if you're viewing something on the levels, it's not going to confuse you or you're going to know what to select and avoid. Now, mind you, watch this. Let's talk about this. So, what happened? Like, what the fuck happened? So, we talked about this being optimal trade entry, right? So, when we left yesterday on our video, we were just slightly taking some of these targets down here on our 1 minute, I believe. And then we had a little, yep. We had some of this start to come down clean, and we took out some of these uh smaller trendline liquidity lows inside of this run here. Now, when we pop back up here, right? Look, it goes up, and this is your optimal trade entry, right? It's just nothing but a time-based retracement. That's it. Up and down. So when this starts to engineer liquidity, we can see it. This engineers more sell side liquidity. So when this is a small retracement just for a session, and you're met with a beautiful Judah swing. Beautiful Judah swing. And so when you're looking at this Judah swing, what is it in reality? Yeah, number one, I know you see this. Okay. Now, Judah swing. Do you see how right when Asia started, right? 6 o'clock. But a little after 8 o'clock, you're going to start to be met with either consolidation or some sort of a manipulation to then make your Judah swing. And so remember, I always give you like a little it might not be the video that we're doing right now, but we're gonna do the Judah swing remix, which is essentially like again us talking about how to be more creative with your 90-minute cycles, right? So if we're looking at all of this here, you get a heavy displacement here. Now we could check the goldback levels. I don't want to for now, for reason. candles first. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like I teach a lot of people, and I want you guys to be able to use the levels, yes, but be able to turn the fucking levels off. You don't need this shit on your screen all fucking day. Like, relax. Do one thing at a time. So if I'm coming in and we already understand the target, and again, if you were watching this video yesterday, you should be very far in profit. You should be very far in profit. This was our draw of liquidity. Now, mind you, if you're still getting scared and you're thinking, oh, he's wrong, this is a massive ass retracement, it's never getting down there, that's your fault. Number two, if you have another idea that, maybe you're a scalper, maybe you're not into trying to go for the day's range, which is understandable. But this is what I'm telling you, bro. Regardless of your style of trading, you need to be able to meet the algorithm halfway. It's not just about you. You need to be able to operate from the algorithm's perspective. Really think what the market's reaching for. Why would this go up like this and back down? Why would it go up like this and this place like this if you're bullish? I'm telling you, when these are left wide open the way it is, these are damn near relative equal lows. This is just adding to the equation here. So when you see it, right? And again, we've been looking at the 81, so this is not as helpful on gold, like I said before. If you're intraday trading or operating 1 to 3 days at a time, yeah, yeah, bring that motherfucker down. And like I said, the 9 is what really gets my attention. Now, mind you, right? We're going to keep this here, and we're going to remove all this bullshit. All right. So, with your Judah swing, okay, look at where you're able to operate. Equilibrium is another major goldback level that we like. We understand it creates a consolidation point. And also, again, look at a gap. Okay? So with this gap, look at where you can find it. You have order block here. Gap. The gap is met, but it's shown to you on the 9 with the fair value gap area being obviously in blue every time it's here. So you see we trade up there, no problem, later. But you see how what I say, like, what's first in order? So it's not going to come and massively start to bounce here, start filling gaps and all that. It needed to take liquidity first before any major uprun. See what I mean? This is first. This draw of liquidity is first. That's why I say on this channel, it's not about you having like a mechanical model where it's, yo, I do this at this time. I look for this, then I do this. You're not accounting for the small variables that you're getting every day. If it's an accumulation, you're not going to look to fucking hold that shit all fucking day. If it's a manipulation, you're not going to probably look for that to be a super lethargic. It's going to be super far, super fast, enabling you to either hold a really, really quick scalp for half the sessions range, or even like a target that you might have gone for, you might end up going 10 times farther through a manipulation. If it's a distribution cycle, you're going to automatically look to hold longer. You're going to have a bigger position sizing. You're going to have ideas where you're like, yo, bro, I can't help but to see this. There's no way we're not getting down there. And the way you're watching the candles, check the vibe. Not just on like the direction, but I'm talking like the speed of this thing, the size of the candles themselves, not just where they're respecting, but literally watch the vibe, right? You see how right now we've been watching this go down. This is what I mean about vibe. This is reaching for something. It's doing something. And outside of for profits, bro, understand you need to be a reliable narrator, and I won't stop telling you that. Why the fuck is price coming down right now? Oh no, that wasn't like a rhetorical question. Like I was literally legitimately asking a question, right? Now, obvious reason. You got to understand what you're looking at and looking for. I say this all the time. So when you see something like this, are you surprised we have Asia session taken in London, which causes us to give a reversal back down, and what's resting in this area? You guessed it, open imbalance, right? So even if again, like I said, not even for profits, bro, we can come in and understand what the market is doing based on the algorithm's perspective. Session turtle, yeah. And the reason why I can teach about this free on my mentorship is because my majority of my students are already hip to this. This is nothing new. But what I'm teaching you about is how to get your organization better and how to understand price. So when we come down here, okay, shoot a swing, all right. But 90-minute cycles gets us excited about when to participate if we do want to trade Asia. Now, the only reason why I would enable that is because gold does move during Asia pretty well. There's actually really high volume in Asia. People think it's not high volume, and that's wrong. It just depends on what asset you're looking at. But realistically, when we're talking about London and Asia, Asia is typically, like I said, liquidity on both sides, regardless on whether it's a high or a low. Normally, both sides of this thing get taken. So, see how that's wide open and the top's wide open? Not anymore. The high gets taken off first, therefore, what is it going to do? It's going to create a measure of selling. There's imbalances down here. We do have liquidity, so you can update yourself as you go along. All right. So the only reason why I turned on 90-minute cycles because we were looking at this Judas swing in a second. But what I'm saying is, we either want liquidity now or we're also trying to check like what price has done on the week so far. Now, look at where we are now and look at this. You tell me if we're getting up here. You tell me. I told you about the levels, and we also have a 9 that is just going to complete itself, right? Obviously, it came, took the liquidity here. We drove up. This had everybody thinking that this was a immediate bullish situation, and that's why you're being met with this because everybody here loaded up on buys and they were in. Now they're getting shaken out, not knowing imbalances needed to get filled. Now, watch. When I look at this, I want to know what's next. Session turtle causes this to go down. We're at a high of a 27. You also have a shared high, 2673. So again, I am bullish on the higher time frame, like daily or whatever. But at the same time, if we're looking at like this, right? Again, just play weekly profile as clean as you can. So whether this a certain weekly profile, we could kind of look. I'll get this. All right, watch. And so we could pop both these in, and you could let me know what you're thinking about. In the same way that I really respect my students, so I will give you guys majority of, you know, the information is no different. But the reason why you come to mentorship is because I helped you build a personal model just for you. when we talk about functions of the marketplace, we talk about time and price. We talk about when people are actually free in between jobs or during the day in their schedule, and how to dominate that time period. There's so many things that you could do and ways to look at the marketplace that you never really have to be confused. And now, typically, when we talk about algorithms, it's very, very easy for somebody to mistake something in the marketplace, regardless, right, of model. But the thing is, what I like to do is based on your personality style. So if you're naturally a days range type of trader, or you're naturally a scalper, or you feel more comfortable with holding for a while, I will work that into your um, brand new trading model or a few. Then the more you actually learn about how the market works, you're starting to pair yourself along with the algorithm more closely. It's not just about how you like to trade, but you're also operating from the market's perspective. Like I said, if we understand what we're looking at, right? So look at this. So far, we have a consolidation midweek rally, which is clear. All right. So you need a Monday low to form this profile. See what I mean? However you view it, you need this low here. It's going to make a Tuesday high. Wednesday pops in, normally a fair value gap. And if you guys are familiar with when I taught Algo 1 or Algo 2, a lot of times this is going to be a massive, whether it's like depending on asset, of course, but it'll do like an algorithm 2, just like this. It'll start from a higher low, end up being in a breaker level, go back to a fair value gap, and run to an opposite order block. No problem. Now, even if you're not looking at it as a full algo 2, right? Bullish or bearish. Now, again, if we're talking about the opposite of this, and again, this is for organizing time. Maybe you have a target on your daily or weekly, and you're like, yo, well, I want to get there. But right now, if price is bearish, bro. In the same way, I'm giving you all this confluence that's to, yo, you need to stick to the motherfucking sell side. And if you didn't make any money on gold yesterday after making that video, that's on you. But the biggest thing is here. Monday high. All right. You see how it's dipping down on that Tuesday, coming down. All right. So far, we got the high of the 27, which is respectful. But I would like to see this play out. If it's a actual Monday high, it's going to be a consolidation midweek decline. Now, I've memorized these, but when you see these, start to think more like, hey, what is price really doing? You know what I mean? You'll give yourself that perspective of like, yo, you know what? I got it. Let me focus on that Tuesday or that Wednesday and do what I need to do. And the whole thing is going to be invalidated by Monday getting taken in some sort of way. So if we need to change something, we're only allowing but so much time to come up and take this fucking high, bro. What else do you think it's going to do when you get to a certain New York session? New York session. It has objectives. Now, mind you, the whole time, right? We switched from, we saw the 81. Now we're looking at the 27. I love the 27 for a lot of reasons. On other assets, it's really, really quick. It produces a really good scalp. But on gold, bro, you understand like the movement down here is nice. It's really nice. And even like last night, I mean, I wasn't even too energetic, but I caught this on two accounts. We caught it on two accounts. Little, you feel me? Little scalp. And that's because like I wasn't looking to trade London last night, but I'm looking to trade New York today with the team. We got a live stream coming up in about an hour or so. But long story short, you're welcome to look at my entry here. And so this right here being like a nice little. Now, for those who don't know, I love skateboarding, but I also on the back end I love basketball. Used to play basketball a lot as a kid. All right. So I know I talk about sports a lot. I talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! I talk about anime. I talk about all the things that I fucking like. Because like I said, my personality leaks out. I can't really help it. So when I'm looking at stuff like this is what I call a free throw. Now, you see how close these are together? Why I took one here and why I closed it immediately? I'll show you this. So we call it layup. Now, really quick, as you're learning this, I'm not telling you to do this, not promoting these, not promoting the layup, but I promote the free throw. So what I'm saying about this is watch. When you see the dealing range, okay, peep my vibe. All right. And like I said, it literally just a scout, bro. It's just a scout. Watch my vibe. All right. So in this area, right? You see my dealing range? 27 looks like whatever the fuck. Till you get down to the three. You get down to the three. Look what we can do. There we go. Now, mind you, do you see what I'm saying? Right? So I'll pull this back because I think my entries go away with the replay. So we'll just pull it back. Down here, right? And so let's shift this down a few times. Downward, man. Dude, this weed tastes amazing with this dark style right now. I don't know why. And yeah, I'll be smoking the entire video. I just talk a lot while I'm smoking. I also smoke really quick. Like, that's why I smoke a lot. Blunts just don't last long in my hands, man. And so, you got the free throw, I got the layup. Now, what would cause me to do some stupid shit like that? Watch, okay? So, we talked about draw liquidity. We also knew where we were headed in the first place. The bias was the easy part. Now, all I'm doing here is just following directions, simply. So, obviously, I have like my cue to swing, right? This is a little after 12 o'clock. So, what I also did, right? Watch this. Again, I talk about this tool, DMN ICT toolkit. Fire. See how midnight here? Normally, somebody would wait till price spikes midnight, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret real quick before I end this video. I've talked on this channel before, and I want you guys to be accurate. Just the little things I talk about on time, so I'm not doing that on the free YouTube. You'll have to come into the Discord for all the other time related stuff, but I will show you why actually looking at gold on um UTC +2 Stockholm. Change your time zone if you're trading gold. It will help you accomplish some incredible things. So the same way I can come in here and say, hey, I need this to be what? +2? Now, notice what this does for me, assuming I put this in correctly. All right. Now, what I'm talking about is if I put on sessions, right? Now, do you notice how Stockholm is 6 hours apart from New York, but Forex, gold, do not run on New York time. I will even write that out. You don't have to believe me if you don't want to, but here, Forex and gold do not run on New York time. It will function the sessions correctly, how you're used to seeing London, New York, and New York PM and Asia. Mind you, you will not be able to get things to align as easily as you would think. How many people like using New York midnight opening price for a lot of their trades? Okay. Now, mind you, you know what's funny? I can go back. I'm gonna go back to the example I'm gonna show you about. Because we got about a couple minutes or so. But mind you, if you're somebody who trades like protraction, like midnight open protraction, I'm trying to tell you, it's not running on New York's midnight. It's running using Stockholm's midnight. You want to be a monster at gold? Operate on this one instead. So when you start getting these, now we understand this is a basic level concept. I'm essentially telling you, like, when you're on like NQ or you're on YM, ES, yes, it runs on New York time. When you're on Forex for trading gold, it's not going to do that. If you want to trade New York Open or True Day Open or above and below it, you're looking to buy under midnight if it's a bullish day, or you're looking to sell above midnight. But emphasis on being inside of a kill zone. So you see out here, you're above midnight, right? And what do? All fucking day. Drop off your fucking ass. Once you're above this, you don't look for buys. You need to be looking for sells. Nice displacement, fair value gap, and down. Simple. Now watch. Here you go again. Now you're offered two different types of trades, and I love these. You got the London, right? And you know to be a buyer because you're underneath Asia inside of a London kill zone. That's fucking bullish. Stop playing with me. And where your target's at. You can use session range liquidity, operate no problem. But now, what did I say about this midnight line that you're operating? And look where it is. It's way different than where it is on midnight. And London, if you were curious, is actually a 9 in the morning for Stockholm. That's why when you have all these like distribution cycles still work the same way because of time. Ooh, this almost turned into a member only video. Almost. But no, I'm gonna let it rock out because I love you guys. I have a special video coming at 250 subs, so when we get to 250 subs, we'll drop a massive banger. Now, again, trade number two here would be above your midnight opening. This is also a kill zone. All right. Popping into New York, and then distribution, and you fall, taking out all sell side liquidity in your path. See what I mean? Above that midnight line and motherfucking downward. Past any funded challenge in the day. Now, when you have a long range expansion, it's going to do that. Now, some days, even when gold's not as clean, you're still going to operate the same way. Does not make trading any more difficult. Here you go. Above New York open. My bad. Above that, Stockholm open. And let me change color so you can see my vibe. And boom, right there. What are you going to do every time you see this thing above that? Sell it. Now, what can you do here? Buy it. Why? Underneath Asia, London into distribution, 9 to 10:30 Stockholm time, or if you want to say 3 to 4:30 New York time. However you want to place that in there, and you're still met with what? A day of selling. Once again, let's look at it on the upside. What do? You find yourself underneath that midnight line a little too long. What do you do when you spike for news? Underneath that midnight line, underneath Asia. Clean as shit. What do you do after that? Fair value gap. What's difficult about that? Yeah, it's going to be volatile. But where are you focused? Low resistance liquidity, which is going to lead you to the upside and then take all this here. Do you see what I mean about being a reliable narrator, bro? You could come in and do whatever you want to do as long as you understand how the market functions in a certain way. Again, bro, I've been doing this close to 10 years, so don't expect to be able to be as quick as I am and seeing some of this stuff. But over time, bro, you're going to start to be able to operate like a monster. All this stuff is easy. You're going to know what to select and avoid over time and know what to focus on in terms of um, liquidity or what's short term or intermediate term for you versus what's longer term liquidity. Now, mind you, let's get back to what I was saying. Now, down here, all right, watch. Now, this is dope. I love that right there. Like I said, we're trying to see the vibe between the where we are now and getting back to that Monday. Now, Pete, right? This was all the liquidity that was offered to me on that downside, right? Now we got some other ones that are a little lower, but what I'm saying is when we operate here, do you see how this was easy to do, right? Let's pop back in. Now I needed to show you that midnight line for a reason because you see where we came from. Right above that midnight line, we're already selling down. So when I get here, right, and like I said, all I did was operate a 3, okay? I'm not coming in with a super big dealing range for a scalp. Don't need to. And this is the first like button pressing of the week, so you know you get your legs working. Notice the consolidation in here, right? Notice my power of 3 liquidity at the bottom. Damn, Jimmy Neutron, slow the fuck down. Right? So I got this here. My bad. So we got that right there. When you come up, you go to a logical level, don't you? Sure. Now look at the time. Now, this is going to be shown to you as 7 o'clock in the morning. But what's interesting about this is the draw of liquidity is there. But notice how I sold it here. I got out right here. Okay. I talked about this with these volume imbalances. All right. Now, normally it does one thing at a time, meaning the gap between this close right here, it's like a small area in here. I'll just mark the whole thing. Now I saw this, right? There's a small little gap in here. It does it again here too. So there's these little volume imbalances that you can see. That again, price eventually just drove up and took all at one time. So 9 times out of 10, and I mean, even though we were close to finishing a partition, right? I wanted to see price come up to this volume imbalance. I wanted to sell it again and get another one, but it's just dumped instead. So I closed one and I wanted to open a second one, but I waited. So went down, went down, went down. And so what I do is what I call the layup, right? Do you see how like all of price directly before this creates power through liquidity. Now it's doing that weird DR shift it does. All right. Now, you see what I mean here? It's going to run down the way it does really aggressively. But mind you, it's going to pop up and start to fake people out, scare people. And you know, gold goes like slightly a little too far for people to get comfortable. So even right here, right, you're already having people who tried to open new positions here, get scared the fuck out. Now, understanding a dealing range low is literally operating right here, right? So, yo, damn, yo, this is annoying me. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. This is like a pet peeve of mine. Like, I don't like when the dealing range moves on me like that. Not gonna lie to you. So, you just gotta put it on 0. It says -0. I'm crying. There we go. Now here, let's thank you. That's all I want. Now, mind you, like I said, when we're in this area here, you see how all these candles are coming down, and it pops up only for a second. Now, when this drops down the way it does, right, you have this little gap that you drove into and spiked right down. So what I call the layup is I already know that the draw liquidity is underneath me. I have power of 3 liquidity. Now understand in terms of speed, right? Price is doing what we call priming. Now I use what's called a hook candle. And so, not to fully explain that, but basically, when you see how price leaves open this space down here, it's going to crash land and flush. And so when you flush it, what I wanted to do was just capture a little bit of that right down to this low, right? Only because we know it's going to be speedy towards that in a short amount of time. It's not going to take very long, obviously. I'm waiting literally a couple minutes. And so when you talk about the layup, it's literally you being right next to the goalpost, bro. I'm already at the target. There's no idea but to flush down and be speedy towards whatever it's doing. You see what I'm saying? And it flushes. But the whole point, right, is you coming in and saying, all right, well, I understand um my first entry is up here. I wanted to pyramid. Maybe I didn't get the pyramid I wanted. And again, I'm trading Asia. I normally like to trade London, but I'm trading Asia. So I'm not like coming in with the most size, bro. No, tripping. But long story short, it's how you practice becoming a better narrator. All right. So let me go, man. We have some more videos dropping over the course of today. We want to talk about Algo 1 a little bit and Algo 2, and I want to talk about Tesla. Um, and hopefully this was an insightful talk on gold. All right. Man, that was fun. Bye.